Hello everyone, welcome to lecture 5 of Introduction to Java Programming. I am Jamal Nasir. So I hope you have watched already these 4 lectures. In the previous lecture we talked about Java's primitive types, right? So there are 8 simple types for numbers, text, and Java also has object types we will talk about later. So important types are int, double, right? Real values for real values, character, and boolean. And boolean would be true, false, logical values. We saw this example in terms of variables, right? If we don't use variables, then obviously it would be very difficult for us to write efficient code. So if we use variables, then obviously writing a code is very easy and it easily manageable, right? Remember this structure we discussed in previous lectures as well. Like for a Java class, it starts with public class name, right? And we save this name.java file. So this is class, a program, right? This public static void main is a method, is a function. And obviously in a method we can write different statements. So basically today's lecture is about methods in Java. We can use comments in Java code, and obviously comment is a note written in source code by the programmer to describe or clarify the code. Obviously these comments will not be executed, but they are very good to understand your code, right? In Java we can use 2 slashes for commenting on single line, one line comment, right? Or if we want multiple line comments, right, then we can use this symbol slash static. This is a very long multi-line comment, and then we have to add again static and slash. Where to place comments? At the top of each file. It is a very good practice so that whenever someone or you open your file, you know that what is the purpose of this file, what is the purpose of this Java class, right? To describe the program. At the start of every method, so that you can describe what the method does. Like this method will print the values, or this method will add 2 numbers, right? And even for statements, if they are complex, you can use comments to explain the functionality of statements. This is an example of comments, right? So first one is multi-line comment, ABC student CS 101 thing. And then we are adding 2 single line comment of 2 slashes, like first verse and second verse. So by this way you can add comments in your Java code. So why comments? Obviously helpful for understanding larger, more complex programs, help other programmers understand your code. The other programmer could be the future you, right? Because after 6 months, most of the time, we also need our code to rethink. Okay, so today our focus is on static methods. So basically in Java, there are 2 types of methods, functions, right? One are static methods and the second one are instance methods. In this lecture, we are not discussing about instance methods because we would be discussing that methods when we would be discussing class and their methods. So, but in this lecture, we are talking about static methods, right? So algorithm is a list of steps for solving a problem. We discussed this thing. For example, bake sugar cookies, right? Mix the dry ingredients, cream the butter and sugar, beat in the eggs, stir in the dry ingredients, right? Set the oven temperature, set the timer for 10 minutes, place the cookies in the oven, allow the cookies to bake, and then mix ingredients for frosting. So basically this is a recipe for baking sugar cookies, right? So obviously problem with this algorithm is that it lacks of structure. many steps, tough to follow, right? And obviously there is redundancy. So, so there are two problems with this algorithm in the previous algorithm, that it lacks of structure and redundancy. So you can see set the timer for 10 minutes is repeating, right? So structured algorithm split into coherent tasks. First is like make the batter. Second is bake the cookies. Third is decoration. So technically we are making or mixing all the ingredients in the first task. In the second task, we are baking the cookies, and then we are decorating the cookies. So we can split our algorithm into different coherent tasks. Removing redundancy, a well-structured algorithm can describe repeated tasks with less redundancy, right? So what is redundancy? So suppose we have few statements, right? And for example, after these 5 statements, these 2 statements are repeating. And then after 2, 3 statements, the same 2 statements are repeating, right? This one. So we can somehow remove this redundancy. Okay. So these static methods, the basic purpose of using methods is to remove this redundancy and obviously to give some structure to the code. So you can see we have redundancy, like set the timer for 10 minutes. And again, we are setting the timer for 10 minutes. So what are static methods? Static method is a named group of statements. So you can see in class, we have method A, which contains 3 statements, then method B, then method C, right? So static method denotes the structure of a program, eliminates redundancy by code reuse. Okay, so this is a main functionality of these static methods. Procedural decomposition, we are dividing a problem into methods. Writing a static method is like adding a new command to Java. Using static methods design, obviously we have to think about the algorithm, look at the structure and which commands are repeated. Decide what are the important overall tasks. Then we have to declare the methods, arrange statements into groups and give each group a name. And then we have to call or use the methods, right? So design, declare and call. So here we can see that like we can split our previous code into 3 steps, and for second step we can even change this step, or we can divide this step into 2 subparts. So in step 1 we are making the cake batter, then we are in step 2 we are baking the cookies of first batch, and in step 2b we are baking the cookies second batch, right? And then in step 3 we are decorating the cookies. So declaring a method gives your method a name so it can be executed. Syntax is very simple. We have to use keyword public, static, right? This static word is using to mention that our method would be static. Then void, its return type, as there is no, we are not returning anything, so that's why we are putting this word void. And then method name, and then in the method we can define statements. Example could be public static void print warning, and in which we are just printing 2 statements. Calling a method means executes the method code. Syntax is that we are just calling by name, right? You can call the same method many times if you like. So this is the important thing, and obviously the plus point of method that we can call methods many times according to our need. So print warning output would be this. Program with static method. So here you can see that we have one public class, fresh prints. Then we are defining one public static void main string, right? And we are calling one method which should be static, right? And then we are printing one thing and we are calling this function wrap again. So it will print 2 times these 2 statements, right? So if we have to repeat something again and again, it's much better to put that code in a method so that we only have to write one time, then we can use at any time. So final cookie program would be very similar to the previous one. Like we have one class, then we have public static void main, and then we can call 3-4 methods, right? So in public static void main method, we are calling 3 methods. We are calling bake method 2 times. So in make better method, we are just printing this stuff, right? And similarly for bake, like for batch 1, we are calling bake function first for first batch, and for second batch, we are calling this bake function again. Okay, and then we are decorating by this way. So now we can see our code is very manageable, very easily understandable, and we can modify or we can rectify or we can add something very easily. Summary: why methods makes code easier to read by capturing the structure of the program. Main should be a good summary of the program, right? So your main method should look like this instead of this. Okay. So obviously, by this you cannot understand what's going on. So by this way, it will be present a very good summary of the program. So for example, we have one statement, and for every statement there is some repetition, right? This bullet is some sort of repetition. So instead of this, I can put this thing in one method, let's say named as one method. Okay. So then I can simply write one method. I can call it here, right? Then this thing, then one method, and then this thing, right? So now my code, previous code is shifted to this code. It's more manageable and I have removed redundancy. Or even if there is some more functions I can add. We can call methods within other methods. Like in public static void main, we are calling 2 methods. And in message 2, we are calling again message 1, right? So if we can run and see its output, then the output would be like from message 1, we are getting this is message 1. Then it will call message 2. In message 2, this is message 2, right? But it's again calling message 1. So it will print again, this is message 1, right? And then it will print done with message 2. And then flow will come here and it will print system.out.println. This thing will print done with main. So control flow. When a method is called, the program's execution jumps into that method, executing its statement, and then jumps back to the point where the method was called, right? So like in this example, we have message 1 and message 2. So code will go to message 1, it will print all the statements or it will execute all the statements here, and then this from here it will go back to here, and then it will go to message 2. In the message 2, first line will be executed, then there is calling of message 1, right? So it will call message 1 again, it will print, then control would be here, and then it will be printed done with message 2, then control will go here, and then it will print done with main. When not to use methods, you should not create static methods for only blank lines. Obviously you can put blank println, right, in main. Unrelated or weakly related statements. So one method means they are related statements. So don't use method for unrelated statements. So here we will see one example, right? Drawing complex figures with static methods. So if you have to write a program to print these figures, then how you will write? Like we have 4 figures. So first version, which would be unstructured. So the development strategy would be that, like, obviously we would be create an empty program in main method and copy the expected output into it, surrounding each line with system.out.println syntax, and then we can run to verify the output. Like in every println statement, we can add this code one by one, one by one, one by one, and obviously it will print just like this. So this is the code. So we will discuss this example in NetBeans as well. So you can see in every system.out.println statement, we are adding one step and then it will print just like this. So this is a program version 1. So can we improve this program? You can think how we can improve this program. You can pause this video and you can think how we can improve this program. So development strategy 2 could be is that, like, identify the structure of the output, divide the main method into static methods based on this structure, right? So we know that the structure of the output is that this one is some sort of egg, right? Initial egg figure. This is teacup. It is a stop sign, and then it could be a hat, right? So we have 4 different figures. So it means that this structure can be represented by methods egg, teacup, stop sign, and hat. So same previous solution, but we are just adding 4 static methods, and in each static method we are printing relevant pictures for egg, for teacup, or for stop sign, right, for hat. So this is version 2, which is much better than the version 1, right? So what would be the third strategy? Like we have put some structure, right? But obviously previous strategy has redundancy. So third version should be structured and without redundancy. So we have to identify redundancy in the output and create methods to eliminate as much as possible, right? And obviously we have to add comments to the program. So in strategy 3, we can identify redundancy, right? Like you can see, like this top part of an egg is repeating here as well, and even here as well. Similarly, the bottom of an egg, this part, this and this 3 lines, right, is again repeating here and here, right? So it means that we can remove this redundancy. So program 3 would be this, that we can repeat this thing again and again. So program version 3 would be this. We will see this in NetBeans in more detail. A word about style: structure your code properly, eliminate redundant code, use spaces judiciously and consistently, indent properly, follow the naming conventions, use comments to describe code behavior. Why style? Programmers build on top of others' code all the time. You shouldn't waste time deciphering what a method does, right? You should spend time on thinking or coding. You should not be wasting time looking for what missing closing brace. So code with style. So this is the end of the lecture. So practice makes a man perfect. So do practice about static methods. And if you have questions, you can put some comment on YouTube video. Please like this video, share with your friends, and keep learning. Bye bye.